Hi, I just wanted to come in. I usually have these things prepared. I usually have a speech. I usually have some idea of where I'm going when I do one of these lives. This time, I'm not really. I wanted to come on though because today is a very important day. Today is Myke's 10th Deathiversary. I've coined this word so much that my spell checker now thinks that it's a real word, Deathiversary. It's been 10 years since he's died. Well, really, we pulled the plug on April 26th at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You'd think I would remember the exact time, but I don't. Back 2014. It's now 10 years. And it's weird because, on one hand, it's been so long. It's been 10 years. But on the other hand, wasn't he just here? Like, I swear to God, he was just here. And it's weird because every year it's something you don't know whether to celebrate it, but who wants to celebrate a death? Or are you supposed to mourn? But why would you mourn when he lived? It's such a weird contradictory of terms. Do you celebrate this day or do you forget it? Do you do nothing and then feel bad because you didn't do anything? Did you just sit there in indecision until eventually the day goes away and you're stuck and you're still in indecision because you're like, oh, I don't know what to do next. You know what? And everything's okay. Everything's okay because it says how you deal with things. I think today I wanted to talk to you though because I realized that 10 years on, the wave still hit. The milestones still hit. We still go through ups and downs. We still have moments where everything's all of a sudden this indecision and the whams of all the emotions and then the numbness and then all the emotions and what to do and the indecision and all of that, which is life, right? That happens. But death anniversaries are different because all of a sudden, all the focus is on you and how are you going to celebrate or are you not going to celebrate and what do you remember and should you remember and everything that comes down to this moment. You're supposed to encapsulate all their time into a moment, to a fleeting day, to a speech prepared. But you don't, but you can't. And every year, it becomes less and less of a painful thing. Every year, it becomes more easy to cross that threshold of going, okay, I've done that. I've planted my flag, and this is where I've been, and I'll be here again, and I'll keep going. And every year, it keeps going. And it gets stronger because every year, I have another flag. I'm like, I've been here. I've been here year after year after year, and I'm still here, and my kids are still here, and they're doing fantastically, and they're doing horribly, and they're doing everything. Because that's life. And because it's life, that also means that a lot of the memories that I used to have are also fading. Because as life happens, I'm getting different memories, I'm getting different experiences. And yes, they are supplanting some of the other memories I used to have of my husband. And when I first started realizing I was doing this a couple of years ago, I was panicked. I was afraid. I was like, what happens if I forget him? What happens if I forget exactly what he smelled like in the morning or what his but that particular thing he used to say or that song or that particular moment in the particular sense of time? What if I don't remember that one little thing? And I was afraid if I let go of that, then I would lose him. And at certain times, I was afraid that if I was happy, I'd lose him. That if I lost any part of my grief, of my sorrow, I'd lose him. And then every year, if I didn't feel this abrupt sadness, I was losing him. And there's all kinds of guilt that comes with that, all kinds of sorrow, all kinds of mea culpas. But it doesn't have to be that way. Because though I would like to think that I can remember every single thing of my childhood, I can't. And everything I would like to know, everything I could remember about being my teenagehood, can't. And everything I can imagine I knew about my husband and being with him for the very scant 8 years that we're together, I can't. But we're not built that way. And I can tell you why, and you know this is why, because as you are living, you get more memories. And as are living, you're going to supplant some of the old ones. And I used to be afraid that that means I'd be forgetting him. But then I realized that all of those memories, they're still there. And so planting them for the moment doesn't mean they're planting them for forever. Because I don't know if you've ever had this, but have you ever had a dream and you woke up in the morning and you're like, oh, that felt so real? Because all of a sudden you're transported back in time and you're there when you were 2. And you had that distinct memory of that thing you did when you were 2, and the helicopter came down and it blew your mind out. Or that one particular flower had that one petal and it's a distinct yellow and you could smell the flower and you knew exactly what that was because you were just there. That happens with them. That happens with the memories you have of them. And even though you're not remember every single moment of pain, and though you're not going to remember every single moment of happiness with them, it doesn't mean didn't happen, and it doesn't mean you love them any less, and it doesn't mean you're not celebrating them. And we can get a whole other discussion about whether you be celebrating their life or their death or forgetting or doing everything or nothing. But I'm not going to get into that. What I am going to talk about is the fact that 10 years down the road, yes, it's my milestone. And yes, it's still going to hurt. And it doesn't hurt as much. And yes, it's still there to celebrate. And maybe I don't want to celebrate that much. Even though it's 10 years long, I am still in grief. And even though I don't feel everything is hard, I'm still grieving. I may not be mourning anymore, but I'm still grieving because I will always, always, always love him. And even though I can't remember the last time I really smelt him, I knew I still had that lodged in my brain. And that one day I'll wake up from a dream and go, yeah, I do remember. Even 10 years down the road, I still remember. And because I am still here 10 years on, and I can tell you that you will supplant some of these memories with new memories, with new experiences, with the day right now, this moment, and with the future moments, because you were alive and you are doing wonderful things and you're going forward and you're taking life in. And one of the most wonderful, horrible, magnificent paradoxes of being supplanted by death, having death in your life, is that it makes you see life so much more beautiful because it is transient. So 10 years. There's still milestones. I'm still grieving. I still love him. I always will. And I know that it's okay to not feel horrible anymore. And I know it's okay to feel happiness and to even seek it out. And I also know that you can do it too. So if you're not there yet, that's okay. If you're ready to figure out what those means and how to make that balance and how to kind of juggle those two worlds, talk to me. Okay? You're not alone. I'm not alone. I have me. I have my kids. I have my friends and my family, and the ones that have actually come close. I've gotten the ones that aren't here, aren't as close anymore. All of it. I'm talking too much. It's a big day. 10 years. I love you, Myke. You're not alone, guys.